Hey guys, Dr. Cutter with the Chainsaw Hospital here. Today we're actually going to be working on the XL101, finally. So we're going to go work on the tailgate of the truck again because as you can see the hospital just isn't set up yet. I've got some new lights in there I'm going to hang up so we'll have plenty of lighting. And that's about it. You know, been so busy with some other projects and stuff. So anyways, yeah, so let's get started. So as an unknown saw, this was told to me that it was running when it was parked, which is cool. But the first thing I like to do is check the muffler to see if there's any rust in there or bugs or anything like that. Now this is just one of those stack mufflers, so you can see like right into the piston there. And so what I like to do is go ahead and pull that off. And on these it happens to be a 5/16. Now it's missing the other bolt down there, so we'll have to find one and put that in there. But you can just see that thing is wide open. So anyway, so what we're going to do is going to make sure no bugs got down in there, and we're going to go ahead and pull this thing over a couple times just to make sure it's, you know, everything is still looks good. It's got a nice film of oil in there, which is good. The recoil needs a little help. But yeah, I'm good with that. There's no rusty anything kind of, you know, falling around in there. There's no bugs inside of there or anything. So we'll go ahead and put this, what they call the muffler, back on here. And, or, well, I guess it's, yeah. Anyways, we'll just put it back on. We'll get another screw later. I'm not too worried about that right now today. Next thing, you can see the recoil is kind of not really retracting much, so at all. So I don't know if we'll have to open this up and see if we can figure out, because we won't be able to get it started if the recoil isn't retracting. So let me go get some tools. Looks like it's got somebody came in here and did some reconstructive surgery, looks like. Put some new screws in here. So let me go get an Allen wrench to get these out. Looks like for this application a 9/64 fit in there just fine. So if you guys know if these are the factory screws or not, bolts, just let me know. I'm not sure, you know, like I said, the history, except for kind of, you know, who it came from. Looks like that's a little loose too. I'll have to look into that. Just kind of looking everything over while we're in here. We're going to check the air filter too. Pull the spark plug, kind of look at that. And we might go ahead and pull this bar and chain off of here too, because it definitely is going to need to be sharpened. So just backing these out. Got all the screws out, and it looks like this side cover comes right off just like that. There we go. So yeah, it looks like the spring does have some tension on it, like it's trying to rewind, but it's a little sticky. So I think let's go ahead and take it apart and check everything in there without exploding the spring everywhere. Maybe. Yeah, it kind of feels, you know, it should have, oh yeah, you can see it trying to. Alright, let's open this thing up. Got a 5/16 socket on a ratchet here. Just gonna loosen this up a little bit. There we go, you see it sucked right in there, but not really reliably, for sure. Sounds like the spring flew off of there, which is fine. We're gonna take it apart, clean it up anyways. Just feels real sticky, like maybe some pine was getting cut with it the last time it was used and it just sat there. Pull this off. That's what it feels like to me. But yeah, it looks real gummy in here. Let's clean that up a little bit. Just got some 2-cycle gas and oil mix on a rag here, and that's cleaning all that gunk off of there. So we'll clean up the inside of this too. Got a little screwdriver here. We might try to, oh yeah, had a little blockage. And if I was really, you know, gonna go for it, clean it up to make it, 100%, I would actually take everything apart. But we're just, you know, preliminary stages here. We're just making sure we can get this thing running. So let's go ahead and put this back in here. I'll show you how to rewind it. So you got a little hook there, and you've got the spring right there, and that's going to interface. Well, we're going to get the rope kind of wrapped around there, and that's going to kind of interface with that. Well, you would think it would. All right. See what's going on with this thing. Looks like that might be cracked a little bit. You can see that right there. But got a little fracture. I'm just spinning this backwards and watching it as it goes down inside of there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. So that's kind of neat. Might have to use my little screwdriver here to, there we go, get it out of the way. Now you can see it's actually engaged onto the spring there. Perfect. Alright, so now we can put this recoil back together, and now that should interface with that. And we have the bolt and washer. Typically I would also Loctite this, but I don't have the Loctite out here with me. But that's okay, because like I said, we're just trying to get this thing to turn over so we can hear it run a little bit. Yeah, it feels like it's engaged. Alright, so we're going to rewind this starter here. Just going to pull this notch to this right here. We're going to get this rope out of here. Might have to use the needle nose or massive hemostats. There we go. Alright, so we're going to pull half of that out like that. And we're going to use that notch, and we're going to put 2 or 3, 4 wraps or so on there. That'll work. We'll pull all of our slack out, and let's see how far that'll rewind. Look at that. Not quite enough. That's okay. We'll just put some more wraps in there. Didn't want to over tighten it. You know, this old spring, it's hard telling how old this thing really is. So we'll just pull another loop out, and then we're going to wrap it up some more. I'm going to say 3 more times. What do you think about that? Somewhere in there. Put that string on the other side of that bar right there and let it rewind some. Almost. Looks like it's working a lot better. Not 100% yet. Maybe a couple more wraps. That's 2. So let's see what we got with that. I'd ought to do it if it goes all the way back in there. I'm just going to give it a little squirt of that down in there to kind of... That's enough for us to try to get it started. Alright. Just putting this recoil back on. What we're going to have to do is kind of pull this a little bit to try to spread out those... There it goes. Try to spread out those dogs a little bit so that it would actually work. I'm only going to put a couple screws back in here because I know I'm going to have this thing apart again. I just got that feeling. Okay. Alright, let's pull this thing over a few times and kind of listen to what it sounds like. See if it sounds like it's got good compression. Well, sounds like it's got good compression, but the recoil still isn't rewinding. Well, this recoil is really giving me a fit, and I think I know why. So let's take it apart one more time, and I'm going to show you what I found. And I don't think it's something I can repair, so I might need to find some parts for this thing. So I'll dig around and see what I can come up with. But either way, here's the recoil again. Just pull that out of there. And like I said, I think I know what's going on. And what that is, yeah. So what I was getting was a lot of rubbing right here and here. And that cracked pulley here is causing this whole assembly to spread apart. And I don't know if you can see that crack inside of there. But yeah, not good. This guy, I'll probably remove the knot from here and see if we can find a new pulley. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is take my drill and a socket and put on here, and we're going to test for spark and see if we got any spark on this thing. Alright, we popped our spark plug boot off here, and we're going to go ahead and pull this plug out so we can see what we're working with. And that's nowhere close to the right size. Looks like we got a 5/8. Yes, 5/8, perfect. Looks like we're leaking gas out of this thing too. That's cool. Alright. Yeah, pull that plug out of there. Looks really clean. Alright, let's put the spark plug in here and we'll find a good ground. I really does not want to set up. Find a good ground, maybe right here. I'll rotate this around for you guys so you can see it. Let's see if this poor little M12 drill will turn this over enough RPM to see what's going on. So I have the ignition switch on. So, alright, here we go. There is spark, so that's cool. I'm thinking if we got the spark plug to work and it seems like we have good compression, I might be able to turn the motor over enough with this drill if we put a little gas down in the intake and see if we can maybe get it to pop. I'm sure it's going to need a new fuel line. That one's split already, so that's okay though. We'll just, so it's a Walbro SDC is what it says. Everything looks clean in here. Look how clean that is. Nice. All right. So let's give her a little sniff. Choke's open, throttle's open. I'm just going to turn it upside down. Just going to put it like this here, and I'm going to squirt a little gas right down in there. See what happens. Here we go. Okay. Switch is on. Nothing happened though. So let's try it again. Felt like it popped there a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pull this bar and chain off. These are 5/8 nuts on here. Alright, got the nuts off. I've never had this side cover off, so let's see what's underneath of here. What's behind curtain number 1? Oh, that's tight. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay. Some vegetation things. Alright. Just like any saw, we're just going to slide that backwards a little bit, and that's going to take the tension off the, off the chain back here. Looks like this chain might be usable. It's a little stiff out here, but I think with some use, oh yeah, it'll loosen right up. Yeah, it's a little tight right there, but I think we'll be all right. And it's an Oregon chain. This one has like little safety rakers on there. So, all right, bars off. All right, guys. Well, We didn't quite get her running today, but that's okay. We know what parts we need for now, at least, to try to get this thing going. So we're going to get the Recoil parts coming back together there. I got to find some somewhere. And yeah, let me know down below if you know of a good place to get them that's reasonable and available. So we can check the oil pump. I don't know if there's any oil in there. Oh, it sounds like the manual oiler is working. Alright. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I know it wasn't very exciting. I did not get it running. But that's part of the game, you know. You got to find parts for this stuff and get it all back together. So we'll see you next time.